In this game, I am playing black against Grandmaster Tao Shaked, who was the 1997 World Junior Champion. He has a FIDE rating of 2468. And here I thought I was clearly worse due to my development disadvantage, but Rybka disagrees, saying that the position is equal. The game continued 15 knight c1, and here a better move was queen a6 with the idea of knight 7 b6, and after b3 knight c3, or if white defends with b3, knight c3 would be at least equal for white, for black. But here I was starting to get low on time, and I quickly played c takes d4, which is a minor error. Now I was expecting knight takes d4, bishop c5, knight cb3, bishop takes d4, knight takes d4 castles, when white has a slight advantage if he finds the strong move knight f5. Or maybe a move like knight c6 would also be pretty good for white. He has a slight advantage. But in the game my opponent played knight b3, which is a move that I had missed. During the game I thought this gave white a big advantage. However, in retrospect, the simple recapture was probably best. And now I played bishop e7. Bishop c5 was more accurate because it blocks the c file, prevents white from perhaps getting a rook into c7 or into c6. But in the game I played bishop e7, which is an inaccuracy. And here the correct way for white to play was bishop takes e7, knight takes e7, rook takes d4. And here white has a rather big advantage. For example, if let's say I move my knight to c5, and Rybka is giving rook d6, queen a7, queen d4 with a pretty nice position for white. Oh, here just note that knight takes b3 is not good because of the check, and after rook takes, white wins the queen. Anyway, instead of bishop takes e7, my opponent played knight b takes d4 in the game. Now I castled, and here my opponent played knight b5. I was worried about knight f5, but black can simply respond bishop c5, and white has nothing special. He doesn't have any sacrifice or anything. Also, instead of knight b5, here white's best try was queen c2, just enhancing white's control of the c file. And now a possible continuation might be, and here white has a slight advantage, a possible continuation, h6, bishop takes, knight takes, and now knight c6. And yeah, white has a slight advantage. Oh, maybe there was a better move. No, I think, okay, knight c6 is the best move. Yep, and white has a rather small but visible advantage. In the game my opponent played knight b5, and now I played bishop takes g5, knight takes g5, and h6. The reason I play h6 here is because white may at some point play queen c2. Here I'm just giving white an extra move, and this will be annoying because it attacks my pawn on h7, and I'll have to defend with a move such as g6. Actually, that's probably the only way to defend, and this weakens all the squares around my king. So I didn't want to go into this, so I played h6 straight away. And now I was expecting knight e4, although I was playing so fast that I missed that white's e-pawn was attacked, and black can simply capture this with a clear advantage. So in the game my opponent played knight f3, now I played rook fc8. And here was probably white's chance. He should, here he played queen c2, which is inaccurate. He should simply go into the attack with rook g4. And Rybka here thinks white has a small advantage. So a continuation might be, let's say, rook c5, queen d2, and now white is threatening to take on h6. So I move out of the pin, king h8, and yeah, Rybka's just giving h3 white doesn't have too much here because black's position is rather solid, or rook g3, and it's about equal after rook a c8, for example. In the game, my opponent played on move 21 queen c2, and here I took the rook takes c4, queen takes c4, queen c5, and here because I thought the original position was very good for white, I was feeling quite happy with myself because I think that I had equalized. And after queen c5, during the game I believe white couldn't trade queens because after knight takes c5, yep, this is true, after knight takes c5 this pawn would be uncomfortable and black has the advantage. For example, rook a1, knight b6, and white can never defend this pawn because b3 would be attacked by my knight. So instead, white must move away, queen e4, knight 7 b6. Now this pawn is attacked again, b3,